Hi, I'm Dave.
Hi, I'm Robin.
Welcome
to Schoolwide Download.
Welcome back to Schoolwide Download. So today we are going to be talking about probably one of the trickiest parts of teaching, and that's giving students feedback.
Yeah, that is tricky sometimes.
Yeah.
We all know that it's beneficial. We all do it. And sometimes it's easier said than done. So when I think about giving feedback as a 7th grade social studies teacher, I think about with my caseload of students ranging from 110 to 140, the stack of essays, the papers with the extended response questions that I know that I need to grade. They're piling up, and then you give another assessment that now you need to get both of them done. But sometimes with that amount of work, it feels like giving quality feedback is virtually impossible.
Yeah. I mean, and I taught 4th grade language arts, so I didn't have nearly as many students. I probably had about 50 to 55. But what you just said is like giving me anxiety right now, because I'd have a stack of papers that I know they need feedback on. And another stack from, the week before, and I'm asking them to complete the writing assignment, but I haven't even met with them yet to give them feedback. And it's on me, it's not even on them. So
Right, of course. And, teachers might monitor a club, or they run a special, or they coach a sport, or I don't know, they have their own children in their own lives. Right. So yeah, it can be quite a struggle from time to time.
Because here's the truth. Fast, focused feedback is key. That's what motivates students to keep writing or keep working on that continued writing.
Absolutely.
It makes grading easier because you're continually working through with the feedback. So it's not like I'm starting from scratch and, reading this entire essay. I've worked with that student.
Right.
And so if you've got the right systems and tools in place, it can make your life a lot easier.
Yeah, this is, in my mind, unquestionably a place where you can go, or a responsibility as a teacher that you should at least consider leaning into technology for a little bit of support, because students respond to feedback.
Yeah.
It is very important. So let's dissect feedback just a little bit. It needs to be meaningful. What I found based on my little short story there, it needs to be timely, which that for me was always the challenge.
Yeah.
It needs to be specific. A piece of feedback like, this is good.
Like, what is that telling you? It's
Nothing.
Nothing.
This is great. I liked what you did here. As a student, I'm thinking, maybe think that you actually read this.
Yeah.
So
that's like giving the star at the top of the paper.
Yes,
or the
exactly.
check plus.
Yeah, and it needs to be actionable. So if you're giving feedback, whether it's critical or complimentary, what's the next step, or what can I do as a student? And like I said, they shouldn't be waiting weeks.
Yeah, because if you give it back to weeks later, they're going to forget what you were even working on. I mean, it really, but to get it back so quickly is so hard as educators.
Yeah. So as much as we know that it is difficult, it is unquestionably important. So Hattie's visible learning research, which was updated in 2018, where they look at effect size for different things that teachers can do in the class size in the classroom. Feedback is well in that top quartile of things that can actually have a marked effect on benefiting students.
Yeah.
So I think he lists 256 things. This is like number 32. So it is, to use his words, it's powerful, and it has a positive aspect and impact on student learning.
Yeah, so why can't tech be something you use not to replace your professional judgment? It's not replacing what you would say to the student, or but it's going to speed things up a little bit. It's still going to be authentic. It's going to be what I'm recommending for them. But if I can use some sort of tech tool to speed the process up, why not? We're using tech tools for all the other things. Why can't we use it for this?
Yes, and I think the one kind of asterisk that you put by that is you do want that feedback still to be personal. So sometimes when we speed things up, we lose a little bit of that, but there are tech tools that help. So let's switch and let's talk about tools for a second. So one of the ones that I have used in the past is a tool, and I think you have as well. It's called Mote.
Yeah.
So if you're not familiar with Mote, that's Mote. What I like about it is the audio aspect of it. It lets you provide quick audio comments right into a Google Doc, into a Google slide presentation. So instead of me typing or handwriting out an entire paragraph, I can actually just record my voice. And for me, what is appealing is, I think in general, as much as we sometimes don't like to hear our own voices, students like to hear the voice of their teacher.
And it's probably, I think it would be more like receptive as a student to listen to you telling me, oh, this is great in this paragraph. You need to add more descriptive words. For example, this, and this. If I can just hear you tell me that, it's almost like I'm having that conference with you side by side.
Right.
Except you're listening. So you could, I guess, record all this feedback. Let's say you spend your planned period recording the feedback to maybe your 25 students for that bell. And then the next day, they could then listen as you're maybe doing one-on-one conferencing with a student.
Yep.
They can listen and make those adjustments all at the same time.
Right.
Like that's saving so much time.
Exactly. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it has a feature where it can read aloud to students.
Which is nice.
It has the ability to voice record. I believe it has the ability to provide translation for your ELL population.
Yep.
Now, let's be honest. Obviously, this is a freemium model, so some of those features are available in the free version. If I'm not mistaken, it's around $50 if a teacher wants to buy a teacher. So once again,
It's not terrible.
it just depends on the value that it brings you, if any of these tools are worth.
We've talked about that. Some of these tools are worth paying for.
Yes.
We pay for certain tools. Depending on how often we use it, how important it is to us. So that is one. If you, I'm thinking language arts teachers, if that's something that you struggle with, $50, I'd pay $50 to have somebody help me.
I think in the way I always measure it is how much time does it save me?
Yeah.
So if that means I'm not, which inevitably we do to some extent, spending parts of my weekend lesson planning and or grading or getting feedback into essays, if a technology tool can significantly reduce that amount of time, it may be worth it.
It's so interesting because I can remember bringing like the stacks of papers home, and I would be like on the dining room table with all the, and a lot of teachers now are digitally using, like the kids are sending it as a Google Doc, so maybe you're not taking that actually home, but
it's still a mountain of work.
Yes, it is. All right, so our next tool. We've talked about MagicSchool. MagicSchool is great. It is a overall platform that allows different apps for teachers and students, all under the umbrella of MagicSchool. So anything from leveling text to rubrics to for a chatbot for students to use.
Newsletters.
Oh, there's so many things. It's a little overwhelming. It's not my go-to, but I know for teachers that are not very familiar with AI, they like it because it's easy to use. But the one thing it does have, it has a writing feedback tool within their platform. And so I pulled MagicSchool up to test it out. I had a sixth grade writing response, and I went ahead and put it in just to see how it worked. So it's really easy to use. You basically select your grade level. You describe the assignment. So I just put the prompt that the student was asked. And you can upload a rubric, which is very helpful. So if you're using just your generic Ohio writing rubric, upload that. And then any other types of feedback, maybe there's something else you wanted them to focus on, and then you copy and paste the student's work in there and hit generate. And so what it did for me, it did not give me, like we were saying, your teacher voice still needs to stay there. It allowed me to do that. It gave me areas of growth for that student. It gave me areas of weakness. And then it gave the top 2-3 things a student should do. So for me as a teacher, I could read through it, put it in my own words, and put it in for the students' writing feedback. I really liked it. It took literally 1 second to come back with feedback. It was
So in other
super
words,
quick.
instead of creating responses, it's generating the responses.
Yep.
And then based on your assessment of the assignment, you just adjusted them or modified them
Yep.
that falls along with your. Okay.
Yeah, it was quick. So it was one of my favorite tools, I will say, that MagicSchool offers. Like I'm not the biggest. I don't like. It's a little overwhelming for me, but that was super useful.
And since we're talking about AI tools, in addition to MagicSchool, School AI has some templated functions within School AI. There's other tools like Writable, which provides a similar experience. And then don't forget, it's not always there, but sometimes you can look at some of the add-ons or some of the extensions within the Google products, whether it's Google Docs or Slides, that sometimes they can have some element of an AI coach.
Yeah.
To help you with suggestions for comments.
Let me ask you something, a little off topic, but what about Grammarly? So, I mean, I use Grammarly. It's an app uploaded on my computer, so it's already there for me, and it edits my writing as I do it. What are your thoughts on students using Grammarly?
Well, one of the classes I took as a junior or a senior at Sycamore High School was called Effective Communication, and Mr. J. Thomas would be sitting here saying, absolutely not. That's something that you need to figure out on your own. You should learn how to do that yourself. Do I use it? All the time.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I think it depends of what it comes down to. What are you assessing?
Okay, because I was watching
English language arts teacher.
That's what I'm kind of like.
I don't know.
I think the art of teaching grammar is still very important, but I
agree.
do think it is a time saver. It's immediate feedback in your learning. Like it's showing you the correct way to use words or phrases. I was watching my daughter type and do homework the other night, and she, without even hesitation, anytime her Google Doc had the red underline or, indicating she didn't capitalize something, or
there's a spacing issue, there's a spelling issue, there's a punctuation issue.
Right-clicked and fixed it like it wasn't, she didn't even bat an eye. Click, 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 click. And I was just watching her, and I said, do you know why that was red? And she's like, I don't know, something was wrong. I said, did you look at it? And she's like, no, not really. But it fixed it. And it didn't even, wasn't even a thing. And you can't get rid of that. Like, that's there. I guess you can't turn it off. That wasn't Grammarly. That was just...
Right. That was just the features built into Google.
So then it just brought me to think, Grammarly is very, it's AI generated. It's telling us, but it's giving you immediate feedback. And we both just admittedly said we use it every day.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends. I think it depends upon what the learning objectives are, because if it's arithmetic, then no, you shouldn't use a calculator.
Yeah.
If it's spelling, then no, you shouldn't be able to use spell check. But if it's a group presentation on your opinion of To Kill a Mockingbird, I'm guessing the main learning target is not whether you used a semicolon properly.
Exactly. I guess that's it. And then maybe that's the takeaway.
So I'm not saying that you should have necessarily been okay with that, but the fact that it was just almost an instinctive reaction that I got to fix the red or I got to fix the blue. Well, what was wrong? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, do you look? I don't look. I guess technically I don't.
Sometimes I disagree with what Grammarly says.
I do too sometimes. So yeah, that's true. Okay. Just all right.
So another suggestion is, of course, some of these tools that are AI in nature, you might want to leverage them. Once again, a first draft of feedback that ultimately you as the teacher is going to use. But there are feedback routines, and I know this was something pre-AI that a lot of teachers or educators would leverage, where you've got comments that you've pre-created that apply to certain things. And instead of typing, it's just right-click, paste. I mean, I still think that's... instead of having to write or type the same comment 27 times, sometimes that's a little bit of a time saver.
A lot of report cards now are generated by that. Like, you put a number in, and it just is number 8 means your student is doing very well in class. You don't even need to type it out. So I guess it's kind of that same idea.
Yeah.
But think about using AI for feedback as a starting point. It's just giving you that edge to get it done quicker, but you still want to have your teacher lens. You still want to be able to put your own comments in there and encouraging comments. We talk a lot about keeping that connection with students and building those relationships, and feedback's a way to do that. So,
and once again, it just it depends. Once again, the feedback needs to be specific and actionable. So you have to find that sweet spot between, okay, instead of them waiting 2 weeks, which is 2 weeks too late.
It's way too late.
To get something back, if maybe you sacrifice a little bit of the originality of everything that's handwritten, but they get it the next, like you're just gonna have to find that sweet spot where it's enough of your actual input and how much can an AI tool or some other methodology support what you're doing, so that ultimately you can provide the student with feedback in a reasonable amount.
Speaking of that 2 week, did you ever, and I'm like, now it's like secrets, but did you ever have like that stack of papers that took too long to get to and you just tossed it because you were like, it was way too long to even pass it back? You know you did.
I'm going to refer that to my legal counsel.
Okay.
That may or may not have happened before.
Yeah.
One thing that I think an overarching thing to kind of, I think it's appropriate in this conversation is just remember this feedback is not always to catch something wrong, to catch mistakes.
Yeah, that's important.
One of the things that you want to make sure, especially if you're using a tool, that it also enhances that ratio of positive comments to negative comments. Let's not forget to tell students, hopefully repeatedly, what they did well in addition to what they need to modify, correct, or improve.
You don't need to always come down
Right.
what you did wrong.
Exactly.
So bottom line, technology should make feedback faster, clearer, but without losing that human touch. So it should just help you in getting it done quicker, but still with keeping your voice in there, keeping your
And what that looks
personality.
like in your classroom is understandably possibly a little bit different than what it looks like in my classroom or a classroom down the hall. It's just you got to find that comfort zone where you feel as you should be providing your input on a student piece of work, but making sure that you use tools to do it in a timely manner.
Yeah. All right, so here's your try it tomorrow. Just experiment with one AI tool that we've mentioned today with the feedback. MagicSchool is a very easy one to dabble with.
Yep.
But any of the ones we talked about, just try one and just see if it makes it a little bit easier for you. Leave us a comment and let us know if you tried something, and so that we can say, we heard from some teachers and they tried MagicSchool and they loved it or they hated it.
I was going to say the comments can be successes or failures or I liked it, but I wish it provided this.
Yeah.
Once again, always remember, start with the free version. See if it is something that you could find a benefit, whether it's the benefit of more specifics, if it's with this particular feedback, is it something that allows you to do something still at a quality level but more quickly? So, if you're using Google Docs for student assessment or student writing, try Mote. See what you think about that. Record a piece of audio feedback for a student instead of typing it. See if that's something that you think provides either a better piece of feedback or if it's more efficient and more timely for you.
And here's another thing you could try. See if the AI tool is the same as what you would say. So take a writing example, drop it in AI, get the response back, and then compare it with what you think you would have given as response. And then that way it'll just kind of give you that idea, like, do I want to use this or do I not? Do I like what I was doing beforehand? It might be something to try.
And it's quicker to review something than to create something. But I think it's always good to check the AI. But, the overarching point is this. Try it.
Yeah.
One small shift. Just see if it benefits you. And the learning may be that it doesn't benefit you.
Yeah.
But there's a possibility that this could be a place where technology fits logically into the things that you do.
Okay. So our big idea today is you can give meaningful feedback in a timely manner without burning yourself out, and just leaning on those right tools can help you. So it's still, we're giving that meaningful feedback, but let's shorten that time. Let's make it a little bit quicker and easier on our end, as well as it helping the students.
And just like any other technology tool that you try, it takes a little bit of time to become efficient, and it takes a little bit of time to become skilled. And remember, feedback is not just about fixing mistakes. It's about building confidence, and it's about showing students that their work does matter, and that you see both the positive things that they've learned, and then you share with them the ability or the task that it may take to reach it to the next level. So these
tools are not only helping the students get that immediate feedback, but then it's helping us as well. It's helping you as a teacher, saving you some time, and that's what we're here to help you do.
So until our next episode, a couple reminders. Keep it simple, keep it practical, and keep it school-wide. We'll see you at our next episode.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of Schoolwide Download.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
We'll
See you next time.